Okay, so here's mine.
Go on.
And it happened in the Tottenham Court Road this week.
This week?
I was in a bad mood. I bought a new phone recharger.
Right.
That made me angry already, because phone rechargers are like electric toothbrush heads. They gratuitously design them differently for each model, so you have to buy a new one.
What was wrong with your old one? Misplaced it?
Blew up.
Blew up.
So I took it into the shop in Tottenham Court Road, and I was not gonna, I was getting it exchanged. I wasn't gonna stand for anything else.
No.
It had broken, they'd sold me a shonky charger, I was having it exchanged. I'm gonna do the shopkeeper's accents in French, even though they weren't French.
Right.
But it just might be, you know, more acceptable if I do them in French.
Yeah, 'cause
so I said, look here, this charger's broken, I bought it, I had the receipt, I bought it a couple of weeks ago, swap it for a new one, please.
Yeah.
No, said the shopkeeper.
Right.
No. I said, why not? I've got the receipt. You sold it to me. It's broken. I want a new one. Because it is a charger. You might have plugged it into a plug with the wrong voltage, says the shopkeeper. I'm like, well, yeah, but no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I used the correct voltage. It blew up. Surely, and at that point I invoked the Sales Act. Do you ever go that? Now, I don't know what the Sales Act is.
Is there a Sales
Does anyone
Act?
else do this out there, listeners? Have you ever invoked the Sales Act without knowing what it is?
Start talking about your consumer rights.
I said, now look here, chum.
Chum.
The Sales Act. What you're trying to do is against the Sales of Goods Act.
The Sales
I
of
said,
Goods Act.
At which point I'm sure I saw him smile slightly.
Of course he did.
Then repress it. He said, no, it does not. Electrical chargers.
My friend, I'm fairly sure there is no such thing as the Sales Act.
No, come on, there is such a thing as the Sales Act. But he was arguing that it didn't apply to chargers and things that rely on a standard voltage, right? And he was quite articulate about this. It was as if he knew what he was talking about.
Weird.
Which slightly flummoxed me.
Right.
So I was ridiculous. What's your name?
What's your name?
At this point, I got out a piece of paper and I started, I was thinking I was not going to have this.
Yeah.
I wanted a new charger. I noted his name down as
his
if I was
badge
gonna,
number?
as if I was going to contact a solicitor.
Right.
I didn't actually say that, but I was all my body language. It was like, right, I've got a solicitor. This is hardcore.
You've messed with the wrong guy.
I'm going to take this to the bank. You've messed with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I'm bringing your electronics outlet down.
At any point did you say, I have a radio show on BBC Six
Now,
Music?
That's tempting. And if you're listening and if you have any kind of role in the media in a situation like this, it is always very tempting. A bit like being a prefect at school, to say, but I'm a prefect.
You've done that before, though, haven't you? When
No.
you've been in confrontations?
No.
You told me that you have.
Well, let's talk about this off air during the next song.
You said I
it's
work
not
for the
relevant
BBC.
to this story because I didn't do it at this point.
Right.
But I did take out a piece of paper. I jotted down his name. He looked quite sad when he gave me his name. And then he said, did you use the charger abroad? Because often power fluctuates when you are abroad. The answer to that question was yes.
Oh.
I then realized that, yes, I'd been in Los Angeles and I tried to charge my phone in Los Angeles and that's where it exploded. So at that point, I realized in my head,
Oops,
I was wrong and they were right. But did I confess that? No. I took his name. I took the name of the man next to him. I wrote them on the back of a very small receipt. I tucked them in my wallet and said, right, we'll see about this. You'll be hearing from me again. And I walked out of the shop.
Well done, sir.
And as I walked out of the shop, I thought, right, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to walk in front of that shop again. I'm going to walk on the other side of the road.